Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, we are going to be doing our review of the match that just took place between the Crusaders and the Blues. As you can see down below, the full-time score 29 to the Crusaders and 6 to the Blues. Now, I have got myself a very special guest for this one. We have got Isaac, another one of the Kiwi Lads. How are you going, mate?
I am good. How are you?
I am also good. Did you enjoy the rugby that we did just witness?
It was a good little match of the old rugby football, I would say.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know if you agree with this, but I would have liked to have seen it a bit closer.
Yeah, that's one of those things. The Blues, the more points that they could get in this match, the less they have to chase down in the match against the Chiefs in the next week's one. Because
so how does the table stand at the moment? Is it looking like it's still Chiefs, Blues, Highlanders that can?
at this stage, Highlanders are out. Crusaders have a home final, and no one can catch them. And then the Blues, if they want to make it to the final, they need to get 3 tries or more than the Chiefs and also win by 23 points or more. So that's one of those ones. If they had gotten 1 or 2 more tries here, they would have still had to win and get 3 or more tries, but they would have been able to close down that gap. But then I guess when you think about it, 3 or more tries, like that's 15. And then you'll also look at the fact that a couple penalties and whatnot, maybe it's going to be tough for them, though, if they do want to be able to get there.
I feel like the Chiefs are going to be a bit too much for them to handle next week if that's the case.
Yeah, because, of course, last time the two sides played, I think it was 15 to the Chiefs, 12 to the Blues. So quite a low-scoring one, both sides countering each other's defense, or countering each other's attack, I should say, very well with their defense. And that is something we could say that the Crusaders, they did pretty well in this match today. They had pretty good defense overall, and it was one of those tackles. Yeah.
Yeah, there was
There was indeed. And that's the thing. Early on in the match, the Blues had missed 6 tackles when the Crusaders hadn't missed any. But then from there, I think they did manage to improve from there. But then the Blues, the handling errors, unfortunately for them, in this match, they were almost their own worst enemy because their discipline is normally what lets them down a little bit. They normally give away just a few too many penalties. But in this match, their discipline actually wasn't too bad, I don't think. They had a couple penalties for not releasing. But then other than that, I don't think they gave away too many kind of like silly ones that they didn't need to, kind of thing. You know?
Yeah, I thought there was lots of messiness in this game, I feel like. Just lots of handling errors. I don't know if you've got the stats for the handling errors there.
I don't think it's one of the ones they actually give me, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we will be able to find it somewhere.
From the insiders.
Yes, of course. We've got reverse claps in the chat as well. Has said hi, welcome to the live stream, mate. I guess, yeah, that is exactly right. Where does or do you have to clap first? No, where does the sound come from? Is my question.
They go whack.
Whack, whack. Right. But yeah, I saw an interesting stat after the game as well, which was 9 times the Blues made it into the 22 of the Crusaders, but just weren't able to score. Hoskins Atutu, how close was he to getting that try early on? Like, we're talking millimeters in that one.
I mean, I think that's one of the cases of, I'd say he probably did get it on the line, but it's just that the camera can't see it. There's not the right angles, and there's just not good enough evidence that it actually went over. I'd say,
and I think it was a captain's challenge as well. So for a captain's challenge, I believe it has to be completely. I guess it was a Crusaders captain's challenge, so I guess it had to be completely inconclusive that they did decide not to award it, because I think they were checking for something a little bit earlier on in the play as well. Yeah. But yeah, Will Jordan, he's a pretty good player, isn't he?
that first try, what was it, like 5 or 6 people were saying that he's just so slippery. Just
like, and that's one of the things. I remember Johnny Blazer's comment in the chat, and it's one that I found quite funny at the time. And he said, for the Blues, defense is optional. And it just seemed like one of those ones that he's just like so quick off the mark with his acceleration. Like, you just can't really keep up with him.
He could just make anything into a gap, though. It's just like, that's where we're going. And we're going through it.
Yeah. And he was able to pull off the silky skills at the end to be able to score that try in the 72nd. Because when I first saw it, I thought that he had like hit the ball with his hand trying to grab it, but it was just off the thigh. And he knew exactly what he was doing by the looks of it. But yeah, 2 tries for him. And then also the try for Severese in the first half, which, of course, another good try for the Crusaders. And that's one of the things. They had the least handling errors. Like I said in this match, the team who gave away the least amount of penalties were going to win the game. And I think I was well and truly wrong, because I think the Blues would have given away less penalties. But it's just the fact that the Crusaders, like when they found that momentum that they were after, like when they got a clean break or anything like that, like they were taking it and they were able to turn them into points or another opportunity. Like the kicking at the start of the match wasn't great for them overall for those conversions. But then from there, they did come right big time. And then Cody Taylor, of course, rolling maul try in the 59th minute. Can't beat the man. 7 tries now.
Yeah. I saw he's like leagues ahead of everyone else in the tries for this competition.
Yep. And then someone else who's decided he wants to put his name in the hat, of course, Will Jordan, picking up 2. So now he's sitting on 5, which makes him second. And then also Severese, I believe, is sitting on 4. So the Crusaders are all ramping it up just before the final. Of course, they've had an extra game, though. So perhaps if someone can score a hat trick in next week's round, well, they'd actually need 4 to be able to overtake Cody Taylor. And that's the man who was in second, Jonah Nariki. So big task ahead if you do want to catch them, of course. But then, yeah, Richie Mo'unga, I think he must still be in second or third for the most points scored in total, but I will look at that very soon.
Third? I think he's in third. Yeah.
Did he? How did that change after he had kicked a couple?
He was quite a way behind, I think.
Yeah.
Like a good 15, 20 points.
That's the thing. Damian McKenzie now, like he is looking at trying to get that 100 in the next match, of course, which he may be able to do with the game against the Blues. That's the thing. Are the Blues going to change their game plan in the next match? Will Jordan's actually on 4 tries, by the way, not 5. I was mistaken there. But if we look at points at the moment, Richie Mo'unga on 90 now and Jordie Barrett on 84. So more than likely, Jordie Barrett should be able to overtake Richie Mo'unga in the game next week. And also Damian McKenzie should be able to bring up that 100 if he does get a single conversion. But yeah, well, it's interesting for the Blues. Early injury of Tanelo Talia in the midfield. And I guess in some ways, of course it wasn't good, but Harry Plummer moving to 12, I feel actually worked better for the Blues than him at 10, if that makes sense. Teddy Black, he seems to just have that vision that seems to be able to open up opportunity. Do you know who Teddy Black is?
Yep.
I just saw kind of the blank look and I was like, does he know what I'm talking about? But yeah, he did almost.
I'm just going to head out.
You're just going to leave. Yeah, he did open up a few more opportunities as well. Thanks for what you do for people that can't watch live, said the Guru Tube as well. And it is my pleasure. I just love watching the games like alongside you guys in the chat as well. And it's kind of one of those ones, other than the main providers such as Sky, Stan Sports, Rugby Pass, and all of those ones, like it's quite hard to find something to do with the game that's free, that's actually talking about it rather than just showing it on the screen. Like we've got the likes of the scoreboard that I use for my live streams, but you don't really get a complete feel of what's happening at every moment of the game. And I do try my best to try and let you guys know exactly what that is. Feel like it's maybe improved a little bit since the start of the season. I can't go that high or else my voice pretty much went a little bit since the start of the season, since I do know the players a little bit more now than I did. And hopefully that will continue into Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, which is going to be starting up very soon as well. What editing app do you use from Milo as well? I do use Filmora for my apps, or for my editing for the videos. I'm a fan of just the basic stuff. Like I don't get too fancy with it. Just the very basic audio, video, Zoom, you know, all that kind of good stuff. We have got Ryan is back in the chat as well. Welcome back, Ryan. What did you think of the game overall? I know that you predicted that the Crusaders were going to end up with about 37 points, I think it was, But they did have about the same margin as you predicted, I have a feeling, if I'm not wrong, which it could be off Denham. But we will move on to more stats about this match. And that is the fact that I would assume most running meters has to go to Will Jordan in this match. But I will bring them up now. And also, while we are at it, do you want to have a crack at guessing, first of all, who had the most running meters? I think it is Will Jordan for your guess, though. Yep. And then also, who had the most tackles in this match is another good question. And yeah, would be keen to hear your thoughts. Also, I believe 23 points, if I'm not wrong, almost the biggest winning margin in a game of Super Rugby Aotearoa so far. So the Crusaders chose the right time to get into form as well. But I will bring up the stats now, and we will look at, first of all, offloads, 16 from the Blues in this match, which is very impressive. I guess Richie Mo'unga or Jordan as well, says Milo. That is a good shout. Richie Mo'unga having quite a good game overall, just didn't quite get to the try line like I think he would have loved to, because of the fact that, if he got to that try line, I think it would give him a lot more confidence going into that final. But still set up a couple tries, I believe. But yeah, Will Jordan is a hard man to bet against. Meters carried. Tell you what, the Blues almost had double the meters carried in this one, 22 or 28-22 to the Blues. Didn't age well, says Mike Jones Sr. Yeah, unfortunately, not quite the case in this match. I thought the Blues were going to be a lot closer to winning this one, or a lot closer in points total kind of thing.
I feel like during the game, it didn't seem like they were that far behind on the Crusaders, skill level wise, but it just wasn't being shown in the points, eh?
No, like going into halftime, then when they got that 3 points starting the second half, I was like, oh, okay, this is the comeback at starting. Then Crusaders straight away got the 3 points, and I was like, oh, okay, still 12 points. Then it got 3 points for the Crusaders again, and I was like, oh, this might be heating up a little, 3 points for the Blues again, and I was like, oh, this might be heating up a little bit more. And then, yeah, that was all the points, unfortunately. Yeah, as Karoya said, a lot of injuries in the back row for the ABs. There is indeed. And you're looking at the likes of Tupaia is now out, Guju also out. Like, there is a list that is piling up in the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. And if talking about injuries, you got to mention Dalton Pawali. What a shift that man was putting in for his side as co-captain. And I am hoping he will be all right. He seemed to be motioning like this when he was coming off the field, as if to say maybe the kneecap was kind of not playing the game, or something was moving in the leg. And that's not what you want. Definitely not, because Dalton Pawali, he has been a solid player this year, and also would probably have a very good argument for getting into that All Blacks jersey. But injuries, once again, playing a big factor. We have also got, it was great rugby from both sides, says Ryan as well. And yeah, both sides had their moments. Overall, when you look at the stats, other than the try scored, the Blues had more possession, I believe, as well. More carries, more defenders beaten. They had more passes made. They had more offloads. But then it's one of those ones that, unfortunately, at the end of the game, they didn't have more points. And that is a big factor in these matches.
Generally is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of points does...
you can't score... Yeah, I guess that is a fair point. But missed tackles, 21 by the Crusaders, 18 by the Blues. But the Blues made 54 less tackles. So that's one of those ones. I'm wondering if you are lagging on the live stream, because for me, you were kind of frozen, and you're kind of doing slow motion, I
think I was.
Yeah. Those injuries, man. I can hear you now. We are good to go. And we have also got these injuries, man. Hopefully 2022 will be our comeback year as well. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of great over the next couple of years. We're leading into the stage of the finals, and also Super Rugby Trans-Tasman kicking off in only a few weeks' time. And that is going to be extremely exciting. Then we look at quickly penalties. Oh, what was it?
I was going to say, is there any international matches coming up with
everything
like that?
The closest game, I believe, is in July, and they are playing Italy for 2 matches, which is interesting. Australia are playing France. The British and Irish Lions are playing South Africa, if that does take place, of course. And we've got Italy which is kind of an interesting one out of like all the teams to play. I feel like they want someone like not a France because they're taking maybe like an Ireland. Imagine an Irish tour of New Zealand. Yeah. That would be pretty awesome. Make it happen, Sansa. Give us the old bloody Lions, or not Lions tour, Irish tour of the country. We've got James Gordon has gone yo as well. Welcome to the live stream, James. What did you think of the match? Blues coaches on the on-site list as well. Sedlax, Axel, and we have got I'm still in Auckland, says James. But yeah, that's one thing. They kept showing Leon McDonald, the head coach of the Blues, and you could just see his soul slowly getting sucked out of his body every time they dropped that ball. Like, and it was just you felt bad for the man because it's like at that stage with how many balls that they did drop, like he probably was thinking, tell you what, I want to get out there and give it another crack. I got the shirt on underneath, but yeah, unfortunate for them. But penalties conceded, 12 against the Blues, 13 against the Crusaders. So I was only a couple penalties off saying the team that gave away the least amount of penalties would win this game. So luckily it wasn't completely one-sided in that regard, or else it would have been a little bit unfortunate. I'm just looking through. I don't actually think I have got handling errors as one of my stats. Possession was 55% to the Blues, though. I couldn't watch the main of the match because I was at the pools as well. So hopefully it was a nice day there. It was a nice day at OrangeTheory Stadium, luckily. Did you hear the thunder and whatnot? Oh, no, you're in Christchurch. Did you have thunder and lightning last night?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you did? Were you thinking at that time, oh, no, this game's going to be well and truly affected by rain?
Well, because it's supposed to do the same tonight. So I was kind of thinking maybe it's going to, how the sun was really streaming in for them. I was thinking maybe later on the rain and the lightning and the thunder might come just to change things up a bit.
Yeah, because it's one of those ones, we've only had 1 or 2 games affected by rain so far in Super Rugby Aotearoa. And like that is pretty impressive for the weather in general. The fact that we've been able to have 18 matches and only about a 10% or less percent of them have been affected by rain. That is not maths. Yep. It is about a 15% chance. I think we have also got it's his own fault selecting Plummer and Ruru benching Akira over Gibson as well. But yeah, that's the thing. Akira Ioane, he made a big impact when he made his way out onto the field. Like that massive clean break. I felt bad for Dalton Papali'i. My voice was almost gone at that stage because Akira Ioane straight up the middle. He was looking for the support, and who was next to him? Of course, it was Dalton Papali'i, pretty much running on one leg, you could say, because he wasn't really able to do too much there. And then he got the ball as well. Like he wasn't giving up for his side, but then he did end up getting taken off just after that. So I really hope that big run that he made didn't cause more damage. But it just shows like some of these guys, like the amount of fight that they've got in them, the amount of passion that they show for their side as well, wanting to get that win, even if he can't run. It's the same as Adi Savia. These second row players, or not second row, sorry, these loose forwards, they're built differently, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And we have also got also happy Anzac Day, bro. Back at you as well, Ryan. And I actually said that Friday was Anzac Day for the live stream that I did, which was a bit of a mess up because of the fact, I heard the last post and whatnot, and I was like, oh, is it Anzac Day today? Like, I didn't actually realize what day it was. But then I think they did it again today, but I didn't actually have my stream up till pretty much a minute before kickoff.
He cocked it up.
Did he?
The guy playing the last post. Yeah.
Apparently trumpet malfunction, was it?
Yeah. It was, and he kind of started again. So, yeah, that's good fun. And fun of how many people would be in that stadium? Like 15,000 or so?
Yeah, I'd say around there somewhere.
And then it's like getting streamed all over New Zealand as well. So probably another 100,000 people or something.
Yeah. Poor man. It's going to become a meme, isn't it? Or a GIF or something. But
sure.
Yeah, I guess at least the lesson here is if you mess up in front of 15,000 people or so, you just keep going, don't you? You go, right, I messed up. I'm going to improve, you know? That was on me, boys. This one's mine now.
He got through it. It was good.
We also got I'm in severe pain, says Lax Axel, and who's AB's number 7 of Papali'i out for the season. That's the thing. Missing Papali'i, missing Sam Cane, missing Adi Savia. Who do you go with now? You've got the likes of Tom Christie's also out, I believe. I guess Karefi is in that black jersey. Yeah, that is a good point. Also, maybe Boshier. He did miss out on the Tri-Nations. Maybe he will get a crack this year as well. But then you've got the likes of who played Sione Havili. He's not doing too badly in the number 7 jersey. And then for the Highlanders, I mean, you've got in the number 7 jersey for the Highlanders, Billy Harmon. He's been decent, so it could be someone who hasn't had much experience. Now, Karefi gives away too many penalties as well, says Lex Axel. We have also got the Blues done well this year. Be a good game, Blues versus Chiefs. It will indeed. And I am excited for that one. And if the Blues start that match quickly, we're in that situation of maybe the winning by 23 points could be on the cards. Like, I really hope it is a close game in some regards, but then I also want it to be close in that regard of whether or not the Blues would get the win. But then, yeah, Chiefs 5 in a row. I want them to make it to that final, I'll be honest.
I think the Blues winning is a possibility. I don't know if winning by 23 points is a possibility.
Yeah.
Chiefs.
That is true.
Today, but...
And there are talks of maybe they might rest Damian McKenzie, so he won't be able to. The Clutch King, as he is called now, Damian McKenzie.
Clutch King.
I think that is what has been trending, the Clutch King, because of the fact that he comes in clutch every last minute of a game. You know, he's won two penalties.
The last 5 games that he's won the game for them or something.
Tell you what, he's won 3 of them at least. Now that I think about it, he won the game with a try against the Blues last time. He won the game with the penalty against the Crusaders, and he won the game in the final moments of the match against the Hurricanes as well. As the Force in the final, says Emily Farrell. They are in the semi-final now. It is a playoff game between the Force and the Brumbies, and the winner of that gets to take on the Reds in the final as well. And we have got Karoya said, analysing these games, Crusaders is always strong when playing at home, especially when they're in a final. That is true. And they do want that home final for the final match as well, because of the fact that you got that home crowd advantage and you do want to make the most of it as well. We have also got in the chat, lol, I was playing basketball with no shirt and I was it was heavy raining as well, says James Gordon. So it would have been a bit slippery as well, I would think. I don't play basketball when it's sunny, let alone when it is pouring down with rain. So fair play to you, sir.
Hamish.
Yes, Isaac.
So is the final 2 weeks from now?
Yes, indeed. 8th of May on this Saturday, 7:05 p.m. kickoff. Oh, what are you thinking? You'll be...
If it was a week later...
1 week off.
I would have actually been up here. So could have had live broadcasting from the pitch.
That would have been pretty... from the pitch. You make your way... I wonder if you're allowed to do that, do a post-match interview, because I know everyone runs on the field afterwards. So you just be like... yeah, g'day, I'm just here with bloody Will Jordan. He's just scored a hat-trick again.
We're just live streaming, yeah. Say hello to 150 people, you know.
Yeah, you just got the group around you. You've got the microphone. And you're just waiting for that awkward cue. You know how it's always you got to have about a 10-second pause, how you're just sitting there right, so we're at the ground and we've got all these people behind me. Sad that Highlanders aren't in the final, says Emily Farrell as well.
Yeah. I'd wait for the other interviewers to finish up with him from Sky Sports, Izzy Dag and all that, and just be waiting behind them. It's while you're here, can I just ask a few questions as well?
You just interview the interviewers, perhaps. You could turn it around, interview Izzy Dag.
And be so what did he say, Izzy? What was he saying? You tell me.
That would be quite a laugh, wouldn't it?
We'll plan this for the next competition.
Yeah, Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. I think it is actually... where could the final be? Maybe could have a go there. Also...
OrangeTheory.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Stats for the players. Now, I think this hasn't updated yet because Will Jordan does not have the most running meters. He is only sitting on 43, which sounds a little bit low, you know?
Yeah.
But I think this number's not too low. 8 defenders beaten, which I think about 4 of those was for his first try as well. So that was very impressive.
How do they actually get the stats? Do they have 100 people just watching the game
I'm not sure.
See, like for like running
I
meters,
know.
to they were like, oh, Will Jordan's got it now, and now he passed it, and that was like 3
I
meters
know
he ran.
they've got a patch on the back of their jerseys, the players. Like it's a bit technical, and I think that's for the meters that they've moved around the pitch. And I guess someone, I don't know, maybe someone presses a button every time they touch the ball, or someone's analyzing it a little bit after. But yeah, it would be a busy job for someone, I would think. Like if I was trying to keep track of the stats, like with meters carried and like, or even just the amount of time people touch the ball, I would lose my mind. Like, I'd be sitting there like, someone's done this, someone's done that. Has the match ended? Says Pardeep as well. And yes, it has. The final score, 29 to the Crusaders, 6 to the Blues as well. But yeah, you look confused.
I'm just, hey bro, watching you, again? Who just won? I thought
did you think that was aging?
Yeah, I was like, it was just aging pretty quickly.
I probably am, with like the amount of stress that these games can put me through during the match, like back and forth rugby. But Team Hawaii, it is good to see you, mate. And it was the Crusaders who won. The tries in this match were scored by Will Jordan. He got the first. Then it was Severis who scored the second. Third try was for Cody Taylor off the rolling maul. And then the fourth try was Will Jordan once again. So 4 tries for the Crusaders, no tries for the Blues. And it does mean that we have got a home final now for the Crusaders. And this one, hi from Face Dope Gaming as well. Welcome to the live stream once again, mate. So looking at those stats, Richie Mo'unga, it says, had the most running meters in this one, or meters carried. And he also had 4 defenders beaten. That was 62 meters carried. So decent from that man as well. And then for the forwards, Ethan Blackadder, it does say, has the most running meters with 28, which is relatively impressive. Right. Oh, tell you what, I just looked at the Blues stats. I will tell you, it was Hoskins Satutu, 88 running meters or meters carried. That is the most out of anyone. 15 carries for the man, 2 defenders beaten. He was on fire in this match, Hoskins Satutu. And surprisingly, in second, it is actually Caleb Clark. He had 84 with only 8 carries. And that's one thing I feel like the more times he touches the ball, the more opportunities they end up getting. Actually, tell you what, someone else is up there. Akira Ioane coming on in the second half, 73 meters carried, and it was 7 defenders beaten. That man needs to start. I'm sorry, but he needs to start in the match next week against the Chiefs. That is for sure. We have also got which teams are in the finals. At this stage, Crusaders have got the home final, and depending on the result next week, the Chiefs will be in the final if they win, even if they lose as well, unless the Blues beat them by 23 points or more and get the bonus point for being 3 or more tries ahead. So that is what we are sitting on at the moment. We have also got the tackles. I will ask you quickly, who do you think had the most tackles in this one, if you had to try and predict it?
I don't know.
Don't know?
Maybe.
I feel like you're trying to think of names, aren't you? Tell you what, someone who's a decent shout, though.
I'll go Cody Taylor.
Cody Taylor? That is actually a very good guess. I see Scott Barrett had 15. He was actually the leading for the Crusaders, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And then David Arvili with 12 and Cullen Grace with 13. And also Sam Whitelock with 12. Cody Taylor's actually only got 9, but he had almost 9 in that first half, I feel. Like he was an extremely busy boy early on in the match. Like I was mentioning about how he's the top tackler in the competition in terms of stats, and he was able to end up getting quite a few more early on. But I guess now it's that big thing of, is Duplessis Karefi going to be finishing as the top tackler in the competition, or is it going to be that man Cody Taylor? He has got the benefit of having an extra game because of the final, and I believe those stats do actually count towards it as well. I am just pulling up a few other stats as well. I do love me some stats, as you will know by now. I just read off stats to you pretty much on a day, or not on a daily, but on a weekly basis at least. I just try daily. Daily. Yeah, probably close to daily, actually. A lot of stats are thrown your way. But yeah, it is going to be for the Blues in this match. The most tackles were made by, it was actually Harry Plummer making 11, which is actually very impressive because I know not too many people were thinking he was going to be doing too well in this match in the number 12. Thanks, bro, for the update as well, says Pardeep. And we have also got Tim Awai has said the Chiefs in the finals almost. Which game is next as well? It is going to be the Highlanders versus the Hurricanes. That is happening next Friday. And then on Saturday, it is going to be the match between the Chiefs and the Blues, and it is going to be played at Eden Park. So it could be quite a big crowd for that one. And that's going to be a big match. That's almost going to be the semi-final, I guess you could say. Super Rugby AU are going to be having their semi-final to see who makes it into the final, and Super Rugby Aotearoa almost having the same with the last match of round 10. I'm excited, as you can probably tell. I am too hyped up. I can't wait a week. Play the games now. You know, you want to.
So is there no actual semi-final?
No, only the final. The top two teams move through. Okay. So yeah, Super Rugby AU started a week earlier than Super Rugby Aotearoa, so they have now got the semi-final, which is going to be happening. So next weekend we are going to have 3 games of rugby. Friday night, 7:05 p.m. is going to be Highlanders Hurricanes. Saturday night, 7:05 p.m. is going to be Blues versus Chiefs at Eden Park, and then Saturday, 9:45 p.m. is going to be the big game for Super Rugby AU, which is the Brumbies versus the Western Force. That is if they can get out of lockdown, because at the moment the Brumbies are stuck in Perth because of their lockdown that they have started for 3 days. We've also got the Warriors are playing Storm soon. That is true. They are playing at 8 p.m. if I'm not wrong, and that will be a big game for the Warriors. Hopefully they will be able to get the win. I think they are the underdog for that match as well. Sorry, I just keep on talking, don't I?
You're going to live stream that as well?
Nah, I think my voice won't be able to handle it because of the fact it almost completely cut out in about the 65th minute. I think I was really struggling, but luckily it's come back a little bit now. I think the best way to do it is just win it. But yeah, so the most tackles for the summer, then there were 3 men on 10. Papali turnovers 1, Blake Gibson with 2 turnovers 1, and Eklund with 10 tackles with the 1 turnover 1. So they were getting the ball decently throughout this match. And tell you what, someone I should mention now that I think about it as well, though, Sever Reese, 4 turnovers 1 in this match. Every time it went to some sort of rolling ball or they just didn't get to the ground quick enough, he was like, yep, that's mine. Thanks very much. And it almost set up 1 or 2 more tries than it did. Because it set up the Will Jordan try, didn't it? The last one that he scored. Your mic is cutting out a little bit right now. I did see that I had a little Wi-Fi signal that said that it wasn't working 100%. So hopefully it has come right now. Gotta love the internet connection, that is for sure. We have got how many defenders beaten for Kiriwani? He did have 7 in this match, Lax Axel. So incredibly impressive with the fact he only came on in the second half. And we have also got here in Fiji looking forward to 2022 for Fiji Drua home games. Yeah, Fiji Drua and also Moana Pacifica joining Super Rugby. I assume you have heard that news?
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah, okay. Exciting stuff. Going to be 12 teams in the competition. That's all right now, says Tim Away as well. NRL is fixed rigged as well, says Neymar. So I think he is saying a little bit of match fixing perhaps happening in that one.
Is there actually only 12 teams, or is that not counting South Africa?
I don't think South Africa are going to be in it. I think they're going to be heading, I think they were going to be heading north for the Rainbow Cup this year, but that got cancelled. But apparently there is still that partnership between South Africa and the Northern Hemisphere Pro 14 competition.
And what about the, what's the South American team? The
Jaguares, or I can't say it very well. I called them the Jaguars once, but it's
Jaguares.
Yep.
And the Japanese team,
the Sunwolves.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you are onto it with your rugby knowledge. I'm impressed.
I do be here. So are they not a thing anymore? Those 2 cups? I mean, those 2 clubs.
I don't think so. I'm not sure where Argentina's side are going. It is a bit of a shame that there's going to be no Argentine rugby, but I think it is just those time zones that do make it difficult because you're going halfway around the world to play a game and then halfway around the world back. But it's one of those ones that I think because of the top league being pretty successful over in Japan at the moment, there are a lot of good players for Japan who are scattered throughout those teams. Also, a few Kiwis, Brody Retallick, also Kieran Reid, Bowden Barrett, and TJ Perenara, just to name a few. Also, the likes for Australia like Samu Karevi, and the list could go on, but I feel like I should stop.
I'll believe you. I didn't actually know that they were all playing in Japan. I knew about Bowden, but I didn't know about the others.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those ones, if you can't find a New Zealand player in a Super Rugby team, they're normally either in Japan or France, seems to be the two go-tos. And hope Zahn Sullivan gets a crack against Chiefs at 15, says Lex Axel. That would be pretty awesome if they did give him a run. I guess in the way, like Peter Feta, he's been solid throughout the season, but it's one of those ones that I think everyone was looking for a Bowden Barrett figure at 15 once again. But I think Peter Feta overall, he hasn't done too badly, but it's one of those ones, maybe Zahn Sullivan going in, getting at least half a game anyway, just trialing him out. Like, they need to find a way to score 23 more points than the Chiefs. That is a given. Like, I mean, it's one of those ones, they need to be willing to take big risks to be able to score those points. The likes of in this game, there were a couple times where they were a few points behind and they kicked for the posts rather than kicking for the corner. And it's like, if they take those corner opportunities, like Kurt Eklund, he scored quite a few tries off rolling mauls. Like, he is a solid player in a rolling maul. Yes, the Crusaders have great rolling maul defense, but, there's still that little bit of a chance that you can turn what was going to be a three-pointer into 7, and it did make it worse with the fact that the kicks weren't going over from the Blues as well. So they were like, we'll take the 3. No, we won't. We'll take no points, thank you. And now we have, unfortunately, blown the chance a little bit. But yeah, interesting game, that is for sure. Thought Sever Reece was going to break a record for most turnovers by a back, to be honest. Damn pissed as well, says Lex Axel. Yeah, he was being pretty much what you don't want when you are in a Blues jersey. Like, anytime he was involved in a tackle, pretty much he was looking to rip that ball away. And most of the time it did almost lead to opportunities because of that acceleration the man has. And then linking up with someone like a David Havili, solid in that number 12 jersey so far, I have felt throughout this season. And then Whainaunuku on his outside is looking pretty good as well. I might actually look at some stats because we love stats. And that is going to be the stats in terms of who is going to be leading in terms of tries and whatnot. So at the moment, Cody Taylor sitting on 7 tries. 3 men behind him is Sever Reece, Will Jordan, and Jonah Nariki, all on 4. Then we move down to carries, and it is actually Shannon Frizzell who has had the most carries with 78, and Hoskins Atutu in second on 77. Then that man I mentioned, Lester Whainaunuku, on 74. Clean breaks, Brad Weber still sitting at the top with 11. Very impressive from the Chiefs halfback. Then Will Jordan and Rieko Ioane both sitting on 10, closely followed by 4 others who are all backs. Fun fact.
That's a
defenders
fun fact.
Was a bit. Defenders beaten.
Love a fun fact.
I do love a fun fact. That is true. Defenders beaten. Richie Mo'unga now sitting in first with 35. Atino Nana Satoro sitting on 34, 1 behind him. But they have still got the game next week, the Chiefs. So maybe he will be able to overtake him. Lineouts one. Still Sam Whitelock. Very impressive. Will Jordan most meters carried with 957. 597 at the moment. That might get updated as well. And then Lester Whainaunuku sitting on 588. So that is extremely close between those two. And Caleb Clark has moved up to third on 454. Damian McKenzie with the most points. Richie Mo'unga in second. Damian on 98 and Richie Mo'unga on 90. Then the big one, tackles at the moment. The man who is in first, Cody Taylor, once again, 92 tackles made so far. Of course, a game in hand, but still extremely impressive. And Scott Barrett sitting on 86 with Duplessis Karefi at the moment.
Hi, George.
The only man in the...
I just said hi, George.
Where is George? Oh, hey, George. Okay, it's just shown up. Mine is a little bit delayed. Do you want to come on, George, for a little bit of a chat about the game? Hey, says George Meyer as well. I could send you an invite if you are keen, George. But yeah, at the moment, Cody Taylor, Scott Barrett, and then in third, Duplessis Karefi with 81. So 11 tackles or more will need to be made by Duplessis Karefi in the next match up against the Highlanders, and that is well and truly doable. But yeah, looking through the match once again for anyone who is just tuning in, 2 tries scored by Will Jordan, 1 scored for Sever Reece, and 1 scored for Cody Taylor. The Blues having 9 times into the opposition 22, but no tries were awarded. Aunt Elsa's here, and everyone's in the kitchen as well. And something I should do for those who are tuning in now, I will mention the Kiwi Lads Gaming, I believe, George, did have an upload set for the time of, having it set for, I believe it was 6 o'clock, if I'm not wrong. I am just going to be pulling it up now. So if you aren't already subscribed to the Kiwi Lads Gaming, I will put the link in the chat. It is very much appreciated. If you guys do want to go over and subscribe to that channel, also subscribe to this one if you haven't already, as we are going to be doing all of the Super Rugby Aotearoa games, also Super Rugby AU finals matchups and Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, as well as a little bit of the Northern Hemisphere stuff as well. That is a impressive little plug there of the channel. As you can see, it's huge at the moment. Like, we're almost at the 1 million, and we are getting closer every day.
It's in double-digit subscribers.
That is true. That is a very good way of looking at it, and it is sitting on 10, which I am very happy about as well. But nonetheless, I think that is almost going to be the end of this post-match review of the match. Oh, tell you what, it's not quite, because we have got a special guest as well. It is none other than Billy. He has decided he will show up, and he will. Are you going to look at the camera? I'm back. Looking forward to next week. Don't bite me. Some of that. Look at the. Hey,
I'm looking at me. Billy.
Hey, look at
Billy.
Oh, he's looking at. G'day.
G'day, Billy. Hi.
He's happy with the game of rugby. He was meowing outside the door of the lounge lately. He's one of those ones that now he decides that instead of trying to patiently wait, he just wants to attack you all the time. Bilzo the Ringer, so says George. But nonetheless, I think we are almost at the end of this live stream. Hope you have all enjoyed this post-match review. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Do a bit of reverse clapping, as someone's name was earlier on, for the channel. And thank you all very much. And we will see you all for the next one.
Nonetheless,
50 times probably throughout that one.
Yeah.
See ya.